name is Daniela Bokranyarkina. I'm a trainer at the Global Platform Ghana here at ActionAid.
Can you tell us how is climate change affecting Ghana and what are the issues you have to face because of its effects?
I would say yes, Ghana is experiencing this bit of climate change, and other times too we say climate variability. As far as it affects the amount of rainfall you have in certain regions, it affects food. As far as people need water to survive, it affects water security. So yes, that has been an impact on us in terms of looking at the basic needs of human. Yes, we can talk about shelter. I would say in part of northern Ghana, we build our houses based on the season. So during the rainy season, we don't build. During the dry season, we build. So if during the dry season now there's some rainfall, then you're like, what's happening? What has it changed? That's really going to affect people and displace a lot of people. And the kind of buildings we even have, they are mud houses. Lots of them are mud houses. So if you have rainfall, I mean, previously the buildings used to withstand the rain because of the amount it used to come. But now, if it is more than the amount, people have to really find shelter elsewhere. So yes, climate change has really impacted us, looking at our basic needs of life, food and water, shelter, as well as also, if you even go further to look at education, we go even further to look at women, because care needs also are tied to some of the things that climate change impacts. For instance, water access. If the girl child has to wake up to get water for the household, and the source of water is far, you spend a lot of hours caring for that instead of having to be in school. So yes, climate change affects us in so many ways, and I would say, as far as climate change affects the basic needs of life, you can't negotiate that. You simply have to make sure you address that, and if not, you'll have environmental refugees who are run away or co-authored 3 investigative pieces on how, should I say, waste from from European countries into Ghana has impacted us. And one is on the e-waste. Second was on spare parts. We have a whole community of supplying spare parts. Yes, and then I think the third one is on second-hand clothing. Lots of people were employed indirectly by the second-hand clothing industry. So to cut it off is like sending a chunk of Ghanaians home. We are already battling with unemployment, so you want to send people back home. It's a big problem. What I would say is that our understanding of waste is also the issue, and I think the government also took an initiative. For instance, the electronic waste levy. So if you import products that second-hand electronic products, you need to pay a levy, and that levy will be used to now also improve our communities based on the amount being paid. So it's like using the polluter pay principle kind of, to address the environmental issues. So what we usually see is that these don't last for a long time. They are not durable, and as far as they are not durable, we have to dispose them. It goes to the landfill sites and it keeps piling up, and we have lots of them coming in but little going out. So that's the big issue we have here, managing the waste. Instead of having to import the waste, why don't we bring in the products? Because in Ghana here we patronize products that are new, that are imported. So why don't we do same? Why don't we change the dynamics? Why do we focus on importing the waste? And I'm speaking this based on someone whose family has benefited from the second-hand clothing. I'm not speaking as if I'm unrelated. My family conducts business in the second-hand clothing, and that has even catered for my education till now. But in growing in understanding, there's always a need for change. So there's a need to say, what other way can we go about in this business? The second-hand clothing, can we improve the grade? So clothing have grades in terms of the second-hand clothing, and some are good, some are bad. A lot of them are bad. So why don't we look at bringing in the good ones and leaving out the bad ones. What message will I give? I think the message is very simple. Help Africa build the Africa that Africans want. Because you can build something, but that is not what the occupant wants and doesn't suit its needs. Developing countries have they have talents, they have resources, but the question is, what happens? What happens with all these things? So I would say, just like how we look at adaptation and mitigation, we should focus on knowledge sharing. That's a big thing we need to really work on. Knowledge management is a big thing. Also looking at indigenous knowledge. So the West should also focus on investing in indigenous knowledge to help the Africans build the solutions that will address their problems. Not to bring in solutions that are addressing your problem to our problems. It doesn't suit that matter.